What's going on, everybody? This is Decoy with another Warframe guide on open worlds, and today we're going to be going over the open world that resides on Deimos. As you can see, it's not your typical planet. I have this unlocked. You might not be. I believe this is tied to a quest, so ignore this. Anything that involves that, ignore it. You're going to see the Cambion Drift and the Necralisk. So we're going to go to the Necralisk. And it's probably the strangest open world in the game, to be honest with you. Lore-wise, it's basically a giant infested asteroid covered with living tissue. Right there, you can see it is not your typical planet. So, just like Fortuna and Cetus, this is your hub. You've got all this different, it's a little bit more confusing in terms of navigation. It's not so straightforward. And just to be clear, this video is about the open world, not the planetary node, which is Deimos. This is about Necralisk and the Cambion Drift. So, and also, kind of something that I didn't realize that I do want to bring up is this particular open world throws so much at you right away. Like, not just like, it's not like the other two where you spend time kind of unlocking stuff. You get kind of access to it all right away. But at its core, it's still kind of the same. So hub, open world, bounties. So if you understand that, you've kind of already got a good foundation for dealing with open worlds. Now, right here, here's all the different vendors. We'll go to Mother. Yes, she's coming out of a big creepy tentacle thing. There's lore about that. I'm not going to explain that right now, but you got your tier 1 bounty, your tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Now, if you come down here, these are isolation vaults. This is something to deal with later. This is not something just because it shows a tier 3. It says tier 1, but it's a tier 3. So don't jump into that right away. Quick kind of thing I really want to go over is resources. Now, on the other open worlds, the resources don't impact you the same way they impact you here. You don't need to go grinding it out all right away. You get a lot of them, but just know that, the resources are more available. There's more of them, and they are something that you need to collect. So we just went to Mother. Let's go look at Daughter. This is your fishing. You can't use your spears from the other place. You got to buy these. Again, fishing is important. Now, I kind of went over it in the last one with Fortuna, but kind of a similar thing like Ticker. Most of the vendors have this. You see how it shows the resources. If you have the resources, then you get 2 Daughter tokens. So then we'll go from the Daughter to Otak, which is your mining guy. Again, same thing. If you have the resources, you get tokens. You can also get Citrine and Warframe here. There's a different mission on Deimos as a planetary node. And then you also have access to all the little crafting for minerals. We did Mother, so we'll go here. He lets you create kit guns, part requisition. Again, same thing. Build a kit gun, browse the wares, get your kit gun. You also can get Lavos, the Warframe blueprint, and his stuff. And then it tells you what it needs to make that. A few other things in here. Necromech related things. You do need that to progress through the story.
Okay. Maybe not today.
That's later though, just showing you again what they've got. Grandmother is a little different, so you can,
the observation of martial discipline.
this is who you go to trade your tokens in. Now, as you can see, 100 Mother tokens are only 100, but the other people, their tokens are much more. So like the son tokens, the father tokens, daughter tokens, and then grandmother tokens. You can also exchange, again, taking the other people's tokens and exchanging them for her tokens. That way you're getting more standing.
Always nice to see you.
And then, just so that you know he's here, sun is a very important thing. Obviously he's got his, the tokens there. And then he's got other things related to capture stuff. Unlike the other two, I would say sun is very helpful because you can actually capture. I'll just give you an example. I'm not putting anything together, but you actually can make companions, and some of the companions from Deimos are very, very important. I would recommend you get the Panzer Phyla, and then build whatever. And then, yeah, so just like a kit gun or a Zaw, these two right here, it's companions that you get to make here. And then Lloyd, which is connected to the isolation vaults. Deal with him later, but just so you know, he exists. He's going to have kind of all of your necromech related stuff, and of course you need to upgrade him, and it really requires you to grind out those isolation vaults. I'm still doing it. I have a necromech because I bought one, but it takes like 15 of those. It takes some of this. It takes that. Like there's definitely, but he only has 3 levels, but it's gonna take some time in the isolation vaults. Now I'm gonna go back to Mother because it's just the easiest way, but I'm not gonna do any bounties here. I just want to show you guys real quick kind of what outside looks like, because I'm sitting here telling you how different it is. So in the other 2 open worlds, yeah, there are enemies that spawn, but and you build up the alert levels. They don't have the alert levels here, but they're just infested everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place. As you can see in the map up there, I mean, there's red all over, and they will attack you. They will shoot at you if you're in the sky. They're if you go mining or fishing, you might get attacked. So it's very much more going on, but also the background is a little bit more dark. So if you're looking for things in particular, it's a lot harder to pick them out. So that's just something to keep in mind. And there's not a night and day or a hot and cold on this open world. It is, I believe it's Vom and Fass. I don't know what the 2 are. I honestly, there's like they shoot out some stuff that get you resources, and you need those resources for certain rank ups and different things, but that's the version of night and day here. So as I said at the beginning, Deimos throws a lot at you right away, and just because a lot of the systems are connected, don't get overwhelmed by it. Start out with that loop that I've talked about in the Cetus videos and the Fortuna video. Bounties, some fishing, some mining, getting your standing up, and as you kind of move through that cycle, you'll figure out what you can and can't handle in terms of the bounty tiers and when you're ready to go into isolation vaults. Resources are important, but don't go grinding them all out. Don't try to get every single thing. You're just going to get them from doing bounties, from playing the game on the Cambion Drift and Necralisk. But I really, really want to reiterate just some quick mistakes to avoid. Don't try to understand everything right away. Don't go look up guides on Necralisk and the Cambion Drift just to see if you're capable of getting the thing that you want. There's probably going to be some sort of time-gated thing. Jumping into isolation vaults too early. Don't go in there because it is just It's kind of like a horde mode. I mean, there are enemies everywhere. There are objectives to complete, but it's all confined kind of underground in rooms. It isn't just... And the enemies on Deimos Star Chart are very different than the enemies in the Cambion Drift. They're still infested, but they're tankier, they hit harder, and there's a lot more of them. And always remember to balance between here, Fortuna, and Cetus. It really helps thin it out and not be so overwhelmed with each open world. And if you thought it was meant to feel confusing here, you're right. It really is meant to be confusing. It's just, that's how it is. Just treat it like in any other open world. Bounties, fishing, mining, you're good to go. Just take it one step at a time. And if you have questions about Fortuna or Cetus that you might not know about, or you might be confused and you haven't seen those videos, please go watch them. They are important. I go a little bit more into depth at Cetus because the stuff that I talk about and teach at Cetus translates to each of the open worlds. So I just wanted to give you guys that information. Hope you have a great day.